Hey, what's up everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting episode for you guys, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can't wait to hear what we got to say about this. But before we get into it, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Anyway, I'm sure a lot of you guys out there are like, what? Really? This guy, this kind of undercover LeBron James hater is going to be doing a video for LeBron? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Why? Because today I'm going to be LeBron James's lawyer, okay? I'm going to be his defender today, and I'm going to make an argument for him that I haven't heard anyone make thus far, at least so far that I've seen. Now, a lot of people seem to think I hate LeBron. I don't hate LeBron, right? I have LeBron ranked in my top 5 all time. I just don't like some of his antics and his obsession with creating false narratives. That's the one thing that kind of gets on my nerves. But it doesn't change the fact that if I'm looking at LeBron James and I'm ranking him all time, I have him ranked as the number 4th best player in the history of the NBA. And just to kind of give this video some context, I want to quickly go over some of his career accomplishments. The guy has won 4 NBA championships in his career. He has 4 finals MVPs. That is the second most behind, I think, Michael Jordan. He has 4 regular season MVPs, which is incredible. He's a 17-time All-Star. He's been a 3-time All-Star Game MVP. He's been on, think about this. This guy has been on 17 All-NBA teams, and he's made 13 All-First NBA teams. That is unconscionable if you actually trying to rationalize it over time. He's been on 5 All-First defensive teams and a second defensive team. He's been on 6 All-Defensive teams. He was the Rookie of the Year in 2004. He's led the league in scoring. A lot of people don't think about LeBron James as a scorer, but he's actually led the league in scoring. He led it in 2008. And he's led the league in assists in 2020. I think in 2020, he must have been, 35, 36 years old. That's incredible. For a player of that age to be able to be that effective, and lead the entire NBA in assists, that's truly, truly remarkable. So LeBron James has had a stellar NBA career, and he's still adding to his career. And the book is, he hasn't finished, writing his book as of yet. Now, I've heard a lot of people make some LeBron James GOAT arguments, right? They've made different arguments to try to, solidify or give his GOAT status some type of credibility. But I haven't heard a thoroughly convincing argument as of yet. I've heard some good ones, but in my personal opinion, I haven't heard something that said, you know what, man, this is actually convincing. Like, it's actually causing me to change my stance on this particular issue. So I thought to myself, I said, what could be the best argument one could make to really make a case that LeBron James is the greatest player of all time? What could that argument be? I know some people have used the argument of longevity, but I think there's an argument that hasn't been made yet that I think will thoroughly convince a lot of the LeBron James doubters. I haven't heard anybody focus on the overall level of competition that LeBron James has had to face in an NBA Finals. Now, let me quickly tell you where this thought came from. Recently, the NBA released a list of their top 75 players of all time. They recently released this list. And as I was going through the list, it made me begin to think, how many of these players on this list has LeBron James faced in an NBA Finals? After doing some research, the number I saw or discovered was actually very startling. It turns out in LeBron James's NBA career, of the top 75 players of all time, he has faced 8 of them. Think about this, 8 of them in the NBA Finals. 8. The list includes players Stephen Curry, Tim Duncan, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Jason Kidd, Kawhi Leonard, Dirk Nowitzki, and his current teammate in Russell Westbrook. This guy has played against some of the greatest players in NBA history, not just in the playoffs. We're talking about in the NBA Finals. He has had to face some stiff competition if we're looking at the caliber of players he has had to play against. Now, some people can say, well, he played with these players at different, they were in different stages of the career. Kevin Durant was young. It doesn't matter. Nevertheless, he still played against him. It's not LeBron James's business. LeBron didn't choose when he was born and when Kevin Durant was born. That has nothing to do with him. It doesn't change the facts. These are the players that he had to play against. He's had some extremely tough adversaries in the NBA Finals. And it basically seems as if this guy has been playing against the world. It seems like. Now, a lot of people say, wait a minute. I have some pushback on that because LeBron James has had a lot of help, right? He's had a lot of help. Yes, it's true, but he's needed that help because if we were to factor in not just the top 75 players of all time, but if we start to factor in the cumulative number of Hall of Famers, the number balloons even further because then you can throw in Klay Thompson. He's going to go into the Hall of Fame. Draymond Green, he's going to go into the Hall of Fame. And some other players, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, all of these players, right, I think are going to go into the Hall of Fame, already in the Hall of Fame. So it would create an even more convincing argument and the list would be much longer. Now, some people are saying, why did you make this video? The reason we're making this video is because I decided that I wanted to make an argument for LeBron, and I have yet to hear anybody make this particular case for him. I haven't heard anybody make this case, and let me tell you something. We're not trying to toot our own horns here. Don't be surprised if in a few weeks or in a few months or whatever it is, you hear this argument used on ESPN or Fox Sports, because if you look at that list, that particular list, the 75 players list, you could really come up with some strong arguments for a lot of players. But in the case of LeBron James, he has had to face a lot of tough competition. If you juxtapose his competition with his career accomplishments, the 4 finals MVPs, the 4 regular season MVPs, the 4 NBA championships, the leading league in assists, 17-time All-Star, making so many All-NBA team appearances. You take all of that, you think about what he's been able to do for the league, for player empowerment, giving players the ability to kind of shape their own destiny. You think of that. You think of the fact that he's been good for so long. You think of his overall career averages. I think he's averaging for his career 27, 7, and 7. These are remarkable numbers, and I think shooting close to 50% from the field. If you combine all of these things and you put his competition into perspective, I think you have a solid argument, and I think this could be his greatest case. Because some people can say, well, he lost so many finals. Yeah, but look who he was playing against cumulatively over time, right? And if you look at it with a broader scope, I think you have an argument for him. Now, some people would disagree, but I think this is the best argument that I've ever heard from LeBron James, because for LeBron James's GOAT status, because if I sit down and think about it, I'm like, that's true. That's a good point. So those are my thoughts and opinions. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think? What do you think about this argument? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, it's just Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.